Hello everyone, welcome to Tony Talks. Wow. How are you doing? Anyway, taking koko kin now. Any gidi pataki. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for following us. And if you're new here, we say you're welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Can you tell me why they have different version? This is a pointer to you that everyone is a controller. For example, when Jesu Oyinbo was alive, in the sect of Jesu Oyinbo, there are rules of do's and don'ts in the sect. In deeper life, even in deeper life of today, there are don'ts and do's. There are rules in deeper life today of what you can do and what you cannot do. In Redeem today, there are rules of what you can do, of what you cannot do. In Sele, there are rules of what you can do, of what you cannot do. The way Sele worship, it is not the same the way Redeem worship. Sele believe. So this is where you people will respect other people's opinion too. You stop believing, you can castigate people once they don't agree with your own religion. So this is what I'm trying to point to you. In Sele people believe in walking barefoot once they are with their regalia, right? And to you, the same Christian, you don't believe they are Christian. So which version of Christianity is the original Christianity? I put it out to you that everything, apart from morals is a general thing applicable to every family, every human being. So we are taking morals out of it. Morals is all about you. Morals is the person you are. Morals is the kind of upbringing you have. Morals is what your parents have taught you. It is the duty of every parent when you give birth to a child to start training that child morals. I remember in those days when we were going to school, I don't know if they still do it. We used to have moral instructions. How many of you remember? When we were in school, Amanche morals instruction then. So, moral apart now, we are now talking about doctrines, where you started saying something is a sin. This one is a sin. That one is a sin. I put it out to you that some churches will say a woman, I don't know if they still do it. I remember some churches allow people to get pregnant before they marry. They will marry, they will do the wedding for them with the woman being pregnant. And that means the woman was doing kerewa before she got married. So morals, we are not saying, I'm talking about morals now. Morals is from your own. If your parents did not teach you morals, you will end up coming out in the public and making nuisance of yourself, disgracing your family. We have such people on social media. Nobody can corrupt anybody on social media if that person is not corrupt. If you have trained your children very well, if you are well trained, there are lots of videos I see on this social media and I will feel like vomiting. The videos are from women. I will look at such videos and I will say, who are the parents of, who trained these women? Who brought them up? Because otoniko binyo, I just wonder what makes some women to get to that extent whereby some women will wear clothes, half of their something is outside. Some will wear ordinary pants and bra, Nigerian women, not Oyinbo, and they will be dancing on social media. Elderly women, and I will be like, what is going on? What is all this? So this is where we are talking about morals, okay? Morals is where you are coming from. And I want to tell you, such women dancing like that on Sunday, they will dress up and they will go to church. And you will see women who does not dress that way, who cannot stand dressing that way, and they don't go to church. You see where I'm coming from now, or where I'm going now. So when you are talking about sin, sin is relative. If you are talking about morals, I will say yes. What you call sin is moral. It is not sin per se. They are morals that if you do it well, it's on you. If you don't do it well, it is on you. But saying because somebody chose a pattern to live, because of that, that person is going to hell. Number one, I always ask, where any member of your family that has gone to hell before, please tell me. Mention them. Any member of your family that died and saw God, apart from what you read in that book or in the books. Apart from what you read in the books, tell me any member of your family that died, went to heaven and came back. So I was talking about the way Celeb preach, the way Celeb preaches and the way Pentecostal preaches. The way Celeb preaches is not the same Pentecostal preaches, nor the same Deeper Life preaches. This is where we are going. That most of these things that you count to be a sin, that you are using to hold yourself bound, or your pastors or whoever you are following is holding you bound and not making you live a fulfilled life. All those things are nothing but doctrines. They are man-made doctrines. And that is why Deeper Life will tell you, you must cover your head. Orthodox will tell you, you don't have to cover your head. Celeb will tell you, you can use big jewelry. And Deeper Life and Redeem will tell you, it is a sin to wear those jewelry. Are you getting it now? Those are man-made doctrines. A Deeper Life will see a Celeb member or see a Celeb member or Orthodox member putting on jewelry and look at them as a sinner. And say, this one is going to hellfire. These are all nothing but man-made doctrine. Man-made doctrine. Even everything you are reading in the Bible, they are man-made doctrine. All the books are written by men and they contradict. They tell you the seven books of Moses was written by Moses. Moses was not even there, according to Genesis, when they said they created heaven and earth and created Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. It was not even there in the times of Abraham. How did Moses know their story? His question, no. They told us Moses wrote the book of Genesis, Exodus, Deuteronomy, and all the rest. How did Moses, who was not there when they created heaven and earth, how did he know about the story? Moses still recorded his childbirth, his coming into the world. He even recorded it by himself. He recorded it, even when they carried him as a baby to the sea. How did he know? He now still recorded when he passed away. How did he know? Question Lamberi. They created Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve gave birth to Cain and Abel. Where did they get their own wife to marry? There are so many questions. Oh, where did they get their own wives to marry? I agree. Some of you even said Adam and Eve did marriage. Is it white marriage or traditional marriage? They did. You say when God removed the rib of Adam from the rib of Eve and put it in the rib of Eve, you said that is the wedding they did. Egba mi. Tójú wa bá dúdú ńgbà kan, ojújú wa ò dúdú mọ́. If we don't ask question in those days, we will ask question now. Is it God that is saying somebody should tie scarf and another should not tie scarf? Is it God that says somebody should wear jewelry and another should not wear jewelry? Is it God that says some people can do sacrifice, and this sacrifice, now every country they do them? America, they use turkey, do their own sacrifice every year. Every year, there must be Thanksgiving, and now turkey we go kill. If you don't see it as sacrifice, I wonder what it is. Celeb will do sacrifice. Deeper Life will say they are aborisha. Celeb will look at Deeper Life and say, àwọn kí náà tẹ̀ máa ń pè àwọn ẹlẹ́kún, crying church. You will look at somebody dressing one kind. Dressing. You will say because their skirt is not down, they are sinner. I said, now man, now human being coined that word, sin. Now Oyinbo coined that word sin to make people feel guilty and see themselves as bad people. Because they themselves that coined that word, they are worse than us. They are worse than us. And when it comes to implementing their rules, their laws and their policies, they don't care about you. That word sin is what you call, that word sin is not what you are calling it. Crime is crime. Living moral, living upright. Living upright is knowing the right thing to do and doing it. It's not the same thing as what you are calling it. What you call sin is somebody living normal life that is expected of everybody. Living normal life, as long as you are not hurting anybody, but you people call it sin. As long as what you are doing is not injurious to anyone. I decide to, for example, I want to, can I use dressing? Yeah, even people that we look at, that I just cited as example, that when they dress up, they leave part of their body. They are not committing any sin. No, they are just not morally, they don't give a hoot. That is how they want to do their own life. And it is not on anyone. They have not offended anybody. And that is why nobody can arrest them. It is just like the case of adultery too. They don't arrest anybody for adultery. There is no price. They don't convict anybody for adultery. Anybody commit adultery, what you call adultery is somebody that is married going out there. And if you look at it, it is more on women than men. You go out there to go and cheat on your partner, automatically it's going to affect your marriage. So it is on you. Who should I block? Block Oshila, no. It's so high. I feel like it sound like broken record. If you do something that is affecting somebody, that is what is called, that is when you pay a price for it. It all depends on what it is. If you do something to somebody, that person gets injured, Olokpa can arrest you for that and put you in jail for that. If you go to somebody and scam them, collect their money, Olokpa can arrest you and put you in jail for that. But if you use your own money to do whatever you want for yourself, for example, somebody goes to the liquor store and decides to buy Remy Martins. You now see that person with Remy Martins. You now look at that person. You now say that person is a sinner. Please tell me the sin that person has committed. Somebody from their own sweat, their own money, said, they just passing by and they saw liquor store. Said, let me buy brandy. And they bought brandy. You now saw the person holding the brandy. Automatically, you look at that person and you say that person is a sinner. Or somebody, you see somebody standing on their own, light their cigarette, and they are puffing away. And the next thing that comes to your mind and say, that person is a sinner. Tell me, I asked you yesterday, I said, tell me what makes somebody a sinner. I can leave my phone open for you to call. If you want to call or you think you have a contrary opinion, define sin. Like we asked yesterday, define sin for me. Tell me that thing you are calling a sin. I asked you yesterday, you went to the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not shekinikon. Thou shalt not shekinikon. And I asked, that 10 commandments that you have put down, is it God that wrote it down? Because in a normal society, most of those things, somebody said, Auntie, I know a strict CAC family who castigate their members for wearing trousers, who wouldn't wear trousers and jewelry in Nigeria. But when you see their pastors' wives in UK, they are sinners in rag trousers. Alaman Torawa, as a people, we cage our people. We hold them down for control. Bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe máa gbégbé ayé aláyé nìyẹn tó máa fi kú. Wọ́n máa gbégbé ayé aláyé tí wọ́n máa fi kú because they say this is a sin. That one is a sin. That one is a sin. Tell me and define what sin is. If you see somebody smoking, Oyinbo has told you, if you smoke, it is injurious to your health. It is not a sin. When you smoke, you start taking that, inhaling that smoke. It is you. It's going to affect your health. That person has not committed sin. Somebody, a full-grown adult. I am not talking of young children now, young adults now. A full-grown adult. I was asking a question. I posted an update before this video. I said, how are your pastors that are divorced? How are they keeping their body? I mean, what are they using? How are they coping being alone? Do you know? No, you don't. And yet, you will expect a woman, because I said most of these things, most of this rule, it is to cage women down. You will expect a woman, a full-grown woman, adult, that is responsible for herself, and you will say they cannot have relationship. Define sin. Tell me what you call sin. Tell me that thing you consider to be sin. Because what you call sin are mostly crime. And people get paid for, they pay for it. What you call sin are people living their life. And you will look at them and you will hate them for a decision that does not concern you. Decision they made for their own life. That either whatever comes out of it is on them and them alone. It's got nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do with God. Because nobody has seen this God. I stand on that. Nobody has seen this God. If you know somebody that has seen God, please tell me the person. Either in the Bible, in the Quran, in anywhere. Oh yeah. Somebody said fornication is not a crime, but a sin. In which way is it a sin? Fornication. What do you define by fornication? Two people that are not married. Are they adults? Yes. What is the sin they are committing? What have they done? Have they injured anybody in the process? Have they done anybody wrong in the process? Okay. If you say that one is a sin, how about lying? Because your pastors lie. Your pastors tell lies with straight face. So somebody deciding, because it was Paul that mentioned that fornication. There are so many instances in the Bible where people are not married and they bench each other well. They do correct kerewa. In the Old Testament especially. Why is it that it now became a sin? Because Paul said it is a sin. It was Paul that said it is a sin. How did you classify it to be a sin? Is it God that said so? It is based on your religion. As far as the person is not hurting anybody, it is not a sin. It is your religion that calls it a sin. Don't use your religion to hold people down. It is your religion that calls it a sin. As long as the person is not going from one man to the other. And if that person decides to even be going from one man.
Kies net als 300.000 andere ondernemers voor het meest complete bankpakket.
Knap, de bank voor ZZP'ers.
That person that does not have morality, good morals, to hold body, it is still on that person. It's got nothing to do with God or anybody. Because at the end of the day, this body is going nowhere. Go and read about, I have a video, I don't know if I can show it to you because of, I don't know if it has copyright on it. How at the end of the day, this body is manure. At the end of the day, this is our body. Except the person that is not buried. Maybe that somebody that does cremation. Okay? Cremation is not